Yeah, my name is Phillipe Day. I'm a physician. I practice OBGYN for 42 years. I came from Haiti. Haiti, as everybody knows, is a poor country, and corruption is a daily fact of life in Haiti. I came to the United States at age 29, and I've been living in this country since. Coming to the United States, I thought that, I was going to leave corruption behind. And I always thought that, coming to the United States, that's the country where justice is, you can find justice for everything. People are honest and everything. But I have to say to you that I was very disappointed. And I'm going to elaborate on that. I was married twice, and I'm divorced twice. My first marriage lasted over 20 years, and the divorce was kind of amicable. We were not at each other's throat, and I gave her what I was supposed to give her and everything, and I kept in touch with my 4 kids. The marriage produced 4 boys, and it was unfortunate that we had to go through a divorce, but we did. And a few years later, I remarried, and unfortunately, that's when all my problems started. By that I mean, I was really taken by surprise. I was surprised to see the bad side of the practice of law. By that I mean, I never thought that lawyers were saints, or angels and stuff like that, but I did not expect what really happened to me. My divorce took almost 8 years, and it was a very traumatic experience for me. And that's strange, these guys claim to be divorce lawyers, but all they're interested in is your money. And I was surprised to see that nobody was interested in giving me a divorce, but everybody was talking about how much money I have, how much money they're gonna take. And I was like, whoa, what happens, And I got double-crossed by 2 of them. The first one took, enough money from me. And then after that, he asked the judge to be pulled out of the case, and the judge agreed. And then I went to a second one, and the second one even played me even worse than the first one. When I divorced my first wife, the divorce process was amicable. We were not at each other's throat, and I did what I had to do. I gave her what I had to give her, and then the divorce it took a little time. And I continued paying for my kids' school, and I gave child support. I kept in touch with my kids, my 4 boys, and I would stop by in the evening before I go to my place to do their homework with them and stuff like that, make sure that, everything was there. And any money that was needed, I was glad to give and everything. So money was not really a big problem, the first time I got divorced. But the second time, little did I know that that was going to be a very bad experience for me. And it was a very traumatic experience, I would say, in the fact that I was very disappointed in the justice system in the United States. By that I mean, I think that I was the only person who was interested in getting a divorce. Because those lawyers, all they were interested in was how to get to my pocket, to my investment, my bank account, and how much money I have, how much this, how much that I have. And nobody was interested in actually giving me a divorce, and they were like milking the process. And it took me almost 8 years, and I'm not a wealthy person. I'm just a physician who worked every day of his life, and mostly nights delivering babies and everything. And, for that to happen to me, I was like a little bit taken aback. And as a doctor, I took an oath, to help my patients to the best of my abilities, to be honest with them, and, not to take advantage of them. Because, they hold doctors at a high level in this society. They expect a lot from us, and the last thing that we would do is take advantage of the patients and take them for a ride. And I don't think that you will be doing this for a long time either, because you probably will lose your license if you do this, or worse, end up in a gated community somewhere in Rikers Island. So, we always try to do our best and to give, the best result to our patients. And, but yet, when it comes to lawyers, it's a totally different story. These people, they ask you for their money ahead of time, in advance, and all they're interested in is how much money, additional money they're gonna get from you. And they don't care. They if they can, they will take everything you have, and they don't care what happens to you afterwards, if you can pay for your bills. In fact, the second lawyer that I had made me lose my house. She refused to give me the deed for the house, and when I asked her, so if you don't give me the deed, I'm gonna lose the house, and she just shrugged her shoulders as if, I don't care really. So then obviously the house went into foreclosure, and then the court, obviously asked us to sell the house, and the house was lost. I invested a lot of money in this house, and the house meant a lot to me, and I ended up living in a room between four doors, and everything that in the room is just a bed and a chair, okay, and a dresser. And it's a little hard for somebody who used to live in a house. I've always lived in a house, even growing up. And now suddenly I'm like in a cell in between four walls, and I'm very uncomfortable that way. And I would like to say something about the judges. The judges, some of them are okay, and some of them are not. And I think that the first two judges that oversaw my divorce, they were not in my favor. They did not help me at all. In fact, there is something that's very peculiar that happened while I was in court. The last time, or the I don't know, maybe the last time I was in court, my wife's lawyer was not able to come to court, and he designated a lady, who works in the office also. She's one of the partners or something, to come and represent my wife. And I was like, she was standing right next to me, and she told the judge, "But Judge, he still has a significant amount of money in the bank." And I looked at her, and I'm saying, look at this woman. I mean, she talks as if, she said that as if it was her money, or there's some money left on the table, so we're not done with him yet. You should allow us to continue and take out more feathers off the chicken. So I looked at her and I said, oh my God. And the lawyer, the principal, the main lawyer for my wife, wanted so much money from me. I don't know what, he thought. Maybe he thought that I was the Sultan of Arabia or whatever, that I was like a billionaire or something. Or maybe he thought that the MD behind my name was $1 million instead of medical doctor. The man asked the judge for an astronomical amount of money that I had to pay to him, besides the fact that I had to pay for everything for my wife. And my wife built 2 houses behind my back, okay? And we had a house together in Florida, and that's the only house that I knew. When I went to court and I heard that her address was this and that was that, and I was like, wait a minute, what are we talking about here? That's not the address I know. That's not the house that I know that, we live, we had together. And no, she built 2 houses without telling me anything. She bought land in Georgia without telling me anything. And she took all her money and put it under her daughter's name. Okay, she had 2 daughters, and she put the money under her daughter's name and her brother's name. And I got to know about it when my second lawyer, the lady, kicked me out of her office, and she gave me all my papers back. And I was going through them, and I saw that in Citibank, I saw a paper that proved that my wife had put the money under her 2 daughters' name. And she had the paper. She was my lawyer, but she never told me about it. So you pay somebody to do a job, you think that this person is there to help you, but they're not there to help you. And this is the reason why I was so disappointed in the law, the practice of law, in this country. I was like really, I didn't know what to do, where to go. I was like completely, I felt like nobody was interested in me. All they saw was like a piece of meat, and then how much we're gonna get from this man. That's the way I felt. I was like being crucified. And I don't have to say that when I met Henry, and I felt like, oh my God, finally I have somebody on my side. In fact, even the second judge, all he wanted to do was to find me in contempt of court and put me in jail. The guy did not care that I was a physician, that I had patients, that I was pregnant, that I was taking care of. He didn't care at all. He just wanted to put me in jail. Now, you have to understand that all of this kind of played had a negative effect on my mind, and I felt depressed, and I started questioning everything. I was asking God even, why me? Why this is happening to me? This is not fair. This is not right. I spent my whole life helping people, and look what is happening to me now. Why? I lost my house and everything. I was really, really depressed, and that's where Henry comes into the picture, because after my second lawyer struck a deal with my wife's lawyer to have me spend some more money so they could get some more money from me, she threw me out of our office and everything. And then I was looking for a new lawyer, and thank God I met Henry. It's like God realized that, what, enough is enough. This man is not a bad guy. He never hurt anybody, he never harmed anybody. And at least they have to leave, some money for him to be able to feed himself and buy another house if necessary, because he's a physician and he works all his life. He didn't steal the money. He didn't pick it up from the sidewalk or anything. He didn't go into anybody's pocket, to make it. I worked hard. I spent nights taking care of patients, delivering babies and everything, hours in the operating room, and I earned my money. And I should not. Society should not allow those things to happen. And somehow I made a call, and why did I call Henry? I don't know, but I read, a little bit about what he put down in his resume, and then I said, okay, let me call him. And then we had a conversation, and I kind of liked what he said. I said, oh, wow, he sounds like, somebody who is real, somebody who might, really help me, in my situation. And then we made arrangements, to meet and everything. And he took the case. That was 2 years ago, 2017. And I didn't know Henry from Adam. But now this guy, has changed my life. He made me believe in God again. He made me believe that there is hope for the justice system, that not everybody is a crook. Henry is a very honest person, okay? And the difference between him and the other lawyers is the other lawyers are not interested in anything that you ask them to do for you. They just want to know how much money you have on your account and how much money they can take from it, and that's all. But Henry is not like that. You hire him for something to defend you. You hire him for a job. He takes it very seriously, and he stays with you till the end, okay? And it's not somebody that's I never felt that Henry was interested in my, bank account and this and that and everything. And it's very affordable, but what struck me is honesty, and I'm saying, wow. So I was so surprised, I spoke to my best friend and I told him, look, I have a new lawyer, but I don't know if I have to believe what I'm seeing, what I'm hearing from this man. And he said, what happened? I said, this is, I gave him a little picture, how Henry was, and, the way he treated me and how much he's interested in the case. And he promised me that, he's going to stay with me until the end and everything. And he's going to give me my divorce. And Henry is a man who would come to your house to meet with you. If you cannot come to his office, he would meet you on a baseball field, by the beach, wherever, in a restaurant, wherever he would meet with you. And this man works like a horse. His days are very long. He works late into the night. I remember he met me at St. John's University where he studied. It was like 11. We left, it was midnight. And I don't know any lawyer, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but somebody has to prove that to me, who would meet me at midnight on a case, okay? These guys, they either are sleeping in their bed or whatever, but they are not working with clients at this time. And Henry doesn't mind. He will meet you anywhere and do whatever is necessary. And he knows what he's doing. He's very knowledgeable, very honest. And not only I got a good lawyer in Henry, but I also got a friend, because we became quite close, I know a little bit about his family. He knows my kids and everything. And, I really respect this man. And I would recommend Henry to everybody, anybody. I would say, if you're going through a divorce, this is the man. This is the guy to see. This is not a guy who is going to be trying to con you and double cross you or try to empty your bank account and stuff like that. No, he's not like that. You pay him, and then he's going to do the job. And you can rest assured that he will be with you until the end. And I appreciate that, because as a doctor, this is what I did my whole professional life. Okay? When I accepted to take care of a patient, I went to the end. Okay? I did whatever was necessary. And Henry is a guy that I will never forget. And I will always tell my kids, I told my children, even my first wife, about this man, about Henry. He's a marvelous person, you know, and I love him, and I intend to keep this friendship and make it work and make it grow, you know. This man is fantastic. He's a fantastic lawyer, and I would say it in front of anyone, anybody. I would put my life on the line for Henry, and I hope, you know, he would do the same for me. So he's a good friend, and I value this friendship, and I intend to, you know, keep in touch with him for the rest of my life.